voice.
And poet Chuck Joy joins us now to talk about a big performance at PACA. It's a Spoon River Anthology. Now, can you talk a little about what that poem is?
Well, it's actually a collection of poems. Spoon River Anthology is a book that was published in 1915, and with over 200 poems written by Edgar Lee Masters. And it remains a classic that still speaks to us today. What we're going to do at PACA is selected readings from that book by a local cast of readers, poets, and actors and actresses reading those poems. The thing about Spoon River Anthology is that all these 200 poems, every one is titled with the name of and written in the voice of a fictional character who has died and is buried in the cemetery for Spoon River, Illinois. So it's kind of a magic trick or something like that, and it's very powerful. And it's tragic, but it also illustrates how all the different stories of life, how different they all are.
When you take a look about the collection of readings, what's kind of the theme behind it? You know, we hear different poets and different writers, they usually have a theme that they like to follow. What would you say in something like this?
Well, it's to illustrate, I think, the details of human life as represented in a small town in Illinois at that time. And each poem speaks a different voice, reflecting somebody's entire existence summed up after their death by themselves.
So for viewers who might not be familiar, what can they expect when they walk into this event at PACA?
Well, it's a powerful and yet uplifting experience. Every poem is a character, and there's 25, and in spite of the overall truth of how all life stories end, each one is different, and the style of the poetry is very accessible, and it's remarkable for as old as it is, as contemporary as it feels.
PACA does a lot of great work, obviously performances, the arts, and this benefit, you can come out, you welcome everyone to come listen, but there's also, you know, if they can, provide a donation to continue, because it's a vital part of the Erie community, correct?
Yes, and this is a good example of it. Teresa Testrake is a poet and a theatrical director that I know from interacting around the poetry community in Erie, and it came up at an organization called NWPA Poetry that Spoon River came up, and she got excited about the idea of bringing a selected reading to PACA.
How does an event like this help the poetry community in Erie?
Well, it's just a sort of opportunity to experience some really top shelf poetry and participate in that. Even though it isn't original to us poets, it's still great work. And Erie has a kind of there have been many selected readings from this book, and Erie is no exception. The earliest one that I became aware of was at Penn West years ago, and then I myself produced one at the public library when I was poet laureate.
Wow.
And then 2 chances for this coming up this Saturday and Sunday?
That's correct. Saturday is 7:30 and Sunday 2 o'clock.
And real quick, what's your favorite poem in the book?
Oh, come on.
Put you on the spot.
No, they're all good. I guess one of the first ones, or the one I'm reading, how about that?
Yeah, okay, I like
That's
it.
a good answer. All right, well, Chuck Joy, thanks so much for
Thank you so
joining us,
much.
and looking forward to this. Obviously, everybody can come on down and enjoy a great night on Saturday or Sunday afternoon.
That's right. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.